Hello everyone. Gradually turn on the cameras. And let's get comfortable. Can you hear me clearly? Great. Let's wait for about 5 minutes. While we wait, set up your cameras. Try to get comfortable. Focus on this. I recommend not doing anything at the same time. If you are doing something, it's better to focus on whatever you're doing. Otherwise, your attention gets scattered across several tasks, which means you're neither here nor there. Of course, your mind may tell you that you can do 500 things at once, and you've lived this way all your life. But it's better to watch the recording later. So please make yourselves comfortable. We'll wait for another 5 minutes. Everyone will join. And we'll start. Ideally, you just have to be present the whole time. Simply be here in the moment so that the information just flows in naturally. No need to comprehend it. It will simply enter your mind and do its work. It doesn't need comprehension. It will just grow itself. You know, when a seed is planted in the soil, it grows without understanding, anyway. It doesn't need to understand. Someone's asking how to give up branded things for simplicity. If you can't perceive yourself without brands, tell me, as an expert. Oh, I wear the same thing every day. It's fine. Get a haircut if I have time. If not, I'll cut my hair myself in the bathroom. I mean, it doesn't matter how others perceive it. Let them perceive it as they see fit. You need to be free from how others perceive you. Alexa, turn off the chat. It's distracting. Thank you. So, just sit through the whole Zoom like this. This method is the most effective in perceiving the incoming information. Even if your mind resists the information, this is probably what it'll do. Simply observe. The way you hear some information and something inside of you resists it. Just observe these phenomena. Don't be scared to miss stuff trying to write it all down. Don't write stuff down. As soon as it's heard, it gets recorded instantly, believe me. In any case, it's all recorded. you will be able to review it at any moment. The most effective method is not to do anything, write nothing down. Simply sit and be here. Believe me, I know the most effective way to take in the information I provide. No need to try to be smart and knowledgeable. The more smart and knowledgeable you are, the less chance you have to get what I'm saying, because you are too smart. All you need is to just be empty. After this, you can go back and continue living as you did, if you want. But in order to spend the next few hours here, understanding what I'm saying, you should be empty. Empty and free from all tasks and everything, and totally focused here. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. You'd better prepare some food, I don't know, do something. And then watch the recording when you have time. So it seems people have gathered. Well, a few more minutes. Let's wait. The main request from people is forming some kind of life. Their mind, how do I say this? It often looks around and wants a car like the neighbors, a wife like the neighbors, or husband, the same number of kids, and the same house, to live the same, travel the same, and all that. They want so much stuff, and it's always very specific. They do not accept what they already have. And so this person lives day after day, only thinking about the future. And suffers because of it. They suffer from not accepting the now, thinking they suffer from not having something from the future. It's quite amusing. Everyone strives for some next moment in which they will have something that they desired. In my sessions, I convey different pieces of information for different minds. This way I am reaching a diverse audience. For some minds they may see a contradiction in my words, and so on. They may get a feeling that something is off. In reality, it's simple. As soon as you realize the unity, the fact that everything is one, you will see that even in contradictions everything is one. Because contradictions arise from unity and are part of unity. They don't exist on their own. Contradicting things are the same. Today's topic is the perception of the world, about how all of this is formed. Not every one of you will need it. If any of you attend my spiritual sessions, believe me, this is the most, how do I say this? It's high level. That is, to be free from all formations, from all of this, just to be present and observe what comes and goes. This is the most incredible. That is freedom, and it will all come down to this. I will explain further. Now I will tell you how to form something. People will take this knowledge and start to form things, and they will form. Whatever they want will come true. Some will form what they want and others won't. Everyone will develop differently, depending on how deeply they can understand the knowledge I'm speaking of. That is why I say that you have to focus here. Because if, while I speak, you are simultaneously typing, or if you're doing something else in the meantime, you'll have to re-listen hundreds of times in order to hear what I am saying. Because for now you only hear yourselves, your own evaluation of what I am saying. I will also explain how it happens. So, they will do all this and return to the first sessions in the end. Why is that? Because they'll realize it didn't bring them joy. Why do people want a certain world? Why do they want to achieve something? They have a feeling that they lack something, and they search for it. They search through jobs, through a large amount of money. That is, they have some sort of voids that they want to fill through relationships, through family. So they look around, they feel like they lack something, and they strive for it. But obtaining this doesn't close the void inside. They still have a feeling that something is missing, and they keep striving for something else. They think perhaps they need even more money. They've lived like this a few years, and there are still more goals to come. They will continue to pile up until the end of days, and there will only be more and more of them as time goes on. They'll keep popping up constantly somehow. Some of my acquaintances are always working, always doing something. I tell them their tasks will never end. I can't believe they don't see that. You can't complete all the tasks, you won't earn all the money. And here they are, spinning this wheel of infinity. And the life's gone. Just like that while you've been running around here and there. What's the point of all this? There's no time to live. Just run back and forth, and that's it. So they do all this in search of themselves. They try to find themselves in various achievements, different goals, relationships. These are all just forms of the same thing. And when they get it, start a relationship, for example, it still feels off. And so they look for a different partner, or look for something else, a new profession, new activities, new hobbies, new people, even more money, or refuse money and turn to spirituality. One experience, one teacher, second, third, and so on and so forth, further and further. It's like getting your head straight into the tiger's mouth. And all of this is happening until they realize they were looking for themselves, here in the moment. Decades of their lives, 1,000 lives. But such people need this. They need to search, to achieve things, to go through a bunch of relationships and everything to ultimately realize that they are the only ones and find themselves. Find themselves here and now, not somewhere sometime, with someone for some reason, but in the only thing they do, did and will have, the here and now, this very moment, just like I'm here, and everything is here, and this is all there is. And a person begins to see it. But they start to distinguish what changes from what is unchanging. And then they start to realize that everything that changes begins in the unchanging. And there is a disidentification with everything that changes. So you see there's a screen, and in this screen there's a body. Forms, objects, other bodies. And they see that they exist by themselves. They cannot control it. That is a deep understanding. And there is disidentification with all this. And also the identification, naturally, with the unchanged. And that's it. And then you let the moment happen by itself. That's it. All desires are you. In any experience, there is nothing separable from you. Before this, you wanted to be something specific, to have a certain amount of money, and all these other different things. All of this still limited you. All of this is infinitely small compared to what you have always been yourself. Therefore, all of this is not able to fill this emptiness. And so, you want more, 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 more. And it still cannot fill the emptiness, because what you are is infinitely greater. But the mind cannot realize this and says, I don't understand. Of course it doesn't. No chance it will. Because it does not need understanding. The mind is just one of the phenomena. There's such abundance that one of them is this. So why not let it be? The mind and the hands, billions of people, animals, different kinds of fruits, I don't know. There's a bunch, and all of this, the planet, billions of other planets moreover, this universe in its entirety disappears completely as soon as you go to sleep. And that's all. It's not there. See, right now it seems real. But you go to sleep and it all disappears from reality. It's real for the one who sees, the one who has forgotten their true nature. And from nowhere a dream arises. Well, you think it's a dream when you're awake here, and there you think that you are the reality. You do not think it's a dream. Everything is real for you there, and there is also some world. Something happens, you can fly, run, do whatever. You do different things and they are all just as real. And these worlds are infinite, and you are that consciousness from which all this consists, which is shedding light on all of this at this very moment, and all of it is within you. Can you imagine all this is coming out of you now? And it is all you, and nothing is separable from you. Wherever you look, you are everywhere. But you are so focused on your own thoughts all the time that you do not see that all of this is also you. All of this is your body. So you are trying to achieve yourself, and that's why you suffer. It's very funny. Just because you don't know yourself, you've forgotten. And you do not know yourself and have forgotten yourself because since birth, you were told who you are. And you did not pay attention to who you are yourself. You believed the information that was told to you. You see everyone do this, and you were told so. And so you decided, I am Ivan. I am Maria. Then you were told to do something and you just started doing it. You just paid attention to some information and think this is you. And this information is one of infinite parts of you. So in the coming years of your life, you'll pay attention to something else and also consider it part of yourself. Can you comprehend this right now? You are now what you have managed to pay attention to, and what you haven't yet managed to. Everything else, all that exists, all you will pay attention to and know. There is nothing in this world that you have paid your attention to and have not come to know, depending on the things you choose to pay your attention to. And also considering how long you are holding it for and with what intention. You're going to know it one way or another. And everything you pay attention to, you will know. Everything you know. Everything you identify with. What is it? It's only what you've paid attention to and decided that is you. You say, I'm a psychologist, an energy practitioner, a yogi. I am someone else. I am God, and a bunch of these names. But you exist before it all, during and after. But you identify your whole being with this short interval of information you paid attention to, completely forgetting that actually you are infinitely more than that. And this short interval of however old you are, 40, 30, 20, is one of infinite parts of you. This small amount of information. It exists only because you do. You paid attention to it, knew it, and think that it's you. And in the coming years you'll pay attention to something else. You'll recognize it and think of it as yourself. And so everything you pay attention to, you recognize and consider this yourself. But the reality is that it does not become you. In reality, no one actually achieves anything ever. In reality, you only realize that something has been part of you as well. So no one ever achieves anything. Because whatever it is you achieve has already been part of you anyway. And by paying attention, you only realize that this is you as well. And all you need is sincerity. Sincerity is honesty. Honesty is not deceiving oneself. It's to sit down. It is to leave all these meaningless tasks for a moment. Just for a moment. Yes, work is great, of course, and so are all these people. It's all great. But who are you? Spend a little bit of time to find out more. Read the manual, so to say. And this manual is none other than yourself. No need to read it from someone else, or hear from someone. You are the only user manual that exists, the only true one. All else is fairy tales, road signs. Why do I say that all else is fairy tales or road signs? Let me explain. Try to understand this deeply. All of humanity cannot convey to you the taste of the food you ate today. No one who did, does, or ever will live. No one among the existing people on the planet is able to convey to you, with any of the words, the taste of the food you ate today. Can you comprehend this thought? But when you took a bite of the food, the taste knew itself directly. And, it turns out, it never needed all the words of humanity. Moreover, the taste existed long before the words of humanity even appeared, and the words of humanity are nothing more than an attempt to explain this phenomenon, to point out this phenomenon, to package this phenomenon into something, and you can see this sequence yourselves. And for this, Don't trust my word. You can see all of this yourself from wherever in the world you're sitting right now. You can see that it is not the color white. People call it white color, some other, and so on and so forth. But if you had never seen the color white in your life before, and all of humanity was trying to somehow tell you about it, it still would in no way compare to the moment you first saw this color yourself, and it would already know itself then. This applies to everything regarding experience when you see or hear. Imagine someone told you about a song. What is your favorite song? All of humanity can tell you about it, about what this song is like, but it still will not compare to the way you will know it when you hear it actually playing. It will be different, the direct experience, and it won't need any explanations or anything like that. They can describe it smartly, beautifully, roughly, or however they want. These are just labels. Yes, they can try really hard and all that, but that's not it. So the things that are you, no one is able to describe to you. It's impossible to describe you. You're indescribable, limitless. It really is so, it's just that you don't know it yet because you simply haven't paid any attention to yourself. Since birth you have been anywhere else, immersed in anything. You watch how others live, what goals they have, who does what, where it's trendy to work, where it's not, what others think of you, like someone here wrote, a bunch of all this kind of junk. Do you see that this is just information that you paid attention to? You grew up. You first were a child who didn't even care where to relieve yourself. You could do it literally anywhere you felt like it. But you were shaped a certain way. You simply didn't choose where to appear as a body, but you appeared and you were given a name. Then people around you began to teach you. Society imposed on you how you should behave properly. It has, I don't know, formed a bunch of guilt in you. A bunch of all this madness, and you just lay there not even choosing this. Someone was just saying stuff around you, and it was entering you non-stop. You just paid attention to it unconsciously. Attention is not only what is seen. Even with your eyes closed, you can sit and hear all those sounds and so on. They will just pass through you. It works through vibrations. And you identified yourself with it. You identified yourself with them because your attention was constantly on all these things. On what someone says, where someone goes, what someone does. But you never paid it to yourself. Because of this, you can manifest as deficient or as constantly suffering. Inside of you there's a bunch of guilt, or these endless desires again, or this urge to be liked by everyone. All of this junk. It's in you only because you don't know yourself. As soon as you understand who you are, you will find it so funny. I cannot know for you who you are. You have to do this for yourself, through direct experience. But the problem is, you are so used to gathering information, constantly doubting it, constantly directing your attention away. So accelerated that you just can't be with yourself for a bit. Moreover, you're so closely attached to this form of how you've been living, and you think that's how it should be. You know everything, so everything is right, and all that. And when you see the truth, even for a millimeter, even for a moment, you just continue to live as you lived, and cannot accept, and start living in the new way you unsaw. So yeah, all of these manifestations are there only because you paid attention to them, and began to behave that way. Too much attention has been given to all of this. All the information that was shoved into you since childhood. So it has basically formed all your behaviors. Your knowledge of what is big, small, what seems to you to be a lot of money, and what is little money, what's good and what's bad. For me, there's no difference. When money comes and goes, it's the same thing. Just like, put the water here and remove it. And how do you feel when money comes to you and leaves you? Think about that. There is no difference in how much there are. Your experience has shaped all this knowledge, created these differences. All of this is your perception. And now it's shaping your world and yourself. You perceive your own self and the space around you. The space around you is what you perceive it to be, and yourself too. The question is whether you can see it. But if you realize the essence of what you are, this personality in you will disappear, will burn. It's only causing endless hustle. It's okay, it's part of your journey, everything's cool. All you need is to direct attention here, and for this you need sincerity. Just find sincerity within yourself. Honesty. And be grateful for everything that's been in the past. It was fine. Forgive everyone, let everything go. And that's it. Begin to get to know yourself. Through being present, you will do this immediately. And as soon as you realize that everything is one, all of these divisions will simply collapse. Trying to achieve something is like pouring sand into sand. It is all the same already. There is no big and small or good and bad. It is all the same, just the same. It is the mind that named and divided everything, but it's natural. That's its job, so what else is it to do? And you begin to see this too, that it is just the essence of this thing. It's not bad or good, just a function. When you realize the unity of all, you realize your nature. You will cease to be a person with a name and so on. You will realize that every word you say is not even yours, it comes out by itself. And every manifestation of yours and so on is created by something that already exists. It creates itself out of itself and therefore is itself. It has no names, but you identify yourself with it. The personality will burn away, but it will recognize itself. Not you, but it will. Shifting from personality. But does possible and impossible exist for you when you are everywhere? You are both possible and impossible. You are both big and small as well. All this knowledge is you. But you cannot understand this. The mind is limited in its capacity. It cannot comprehend the limitless. But remember, the things I speak of do not need understanding. Just like the food you ate for breakfast today does not need understanding. Realize it very deeply. This is the knowledge that I'm constantly pointing out. So you have a mind, and you have been paying so much attention to your mind that you are used to understanding everything. But if someone always tells you what food tastes like, you will die of hunger. You do not need the information about what food tastes like. When you are hungry, you go eat. You don't care at all what they say about it. You don't sit there trying to understand it or anything like that, right? Do you realize this? When you need to go to the bathroom, you don't care what anyone has to tell you about this phenomenon. It's no use telling stories about it. You don't care, you need to go to the bathroom and it just happens, your body goes there. And it doesn't care about any words at all, doesn't need any understanding. When you see rain, they can tell you as much as they want about it and all that, but it just is, it happens, it is seen. And it knows itself when it happens. You can't understand it all. What you try to understand is impossible to understand in words because words only point at things. You have to go beyond understanding. What does it mean to go beyond understanding? It's to be present, to be witnessing, an attempt to understand something within you. When you witness all these forms, this form, this sound, understanding is trying to occur. You witness all of this simultaneously, equidistantly, and it all collapses. And you see it all as one. It knows itself. Just like when you are looking at this color, it knows itself. You eat food, it knows itself, and everything knows itself. It looks back at itself, listens to itself, interacts with itself, within itself. I highly recommend not to postpone this and do it today. Just burn your personality. Because you're not this personality. This personality is one of infinite parts of what you are. And you'll be able to totally and exhaustively verify this as soon as you pay attention to your own self. As soon as you take attention away from the whole world, from all people, with their endless affairs, tasks, questions, requests, cuteness, and everything else. Let it all wait for a moment. It's all great, you'll return to it later. It won't ever end anyway. Make time to know yourself. The only chance to know yourself is to pay attention to yourself. You just take it all and say, okay, I will see you, I don't know. Maybe next week. That's it, just leave everyone, it's easy. And then sit down and spend some time with yourself, reflect. Think about what you are called, why you are called that. Is that really your name at all? What's going on, how you manifest, why you're afraid here and happy there? What the difference is. Begin to deeply understand all this, to see all of this deeply, and it all crumbles. You see, all that illusory stuff you lived in before is not there anymore. It begins to just dissipate. And you finally get to know your own self, the truth, in your direct experience, again, while paying attention to yourself. And then it gets easier to do things. I'm about to give you a couple examples now. Why am I explaining all this for so long if I could tell you, look, the shaping of reality is the simplest thing ever. Conditionally. So yeah, let me give you a series of examples. When you understand that everything is one, and the only time is now, everything is one, and that is obvious. You look around and it's all without words. It all does not carry those words. You just need to understand that this is not white, this is not a pillow, that's not a building. That's not glass and that's not the sky. If you understand all this, these are not eyes, this is not a beard, these are not hair. Not pimples, not sound. If you understand it, deeply. What remains when words are gone? Only the unity. Can you not see it? It is all one, without all these words. And there's only the now. See, here it is. There is only now, 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 but without the word too. And now you begin to see. It turns out the future does not exist. The past does not exist, and the present does not exist. Therefore, in your life, the very knowledge of having to want something is burned and disappears, leaving only what is, because the future, the past, the present is now, simultaneously. Your whole life, there has always been only now. When you want something, it means you do not have it yet. And you want it because you don't know yourself. If you knew yourself, you would know that it already exists now. And you are this already now. You'd know this for sure, similar to this. I often say in videos that if I need something, I know it exists now, totally exhaustively. Just as I know the following. See, the bottle's on the table. Now it's not. I equally know that it is here. I know for sure. Well, I have absolutely no thought and no doubt that it is not here. It's only you who have doubts, and only you think it isn't here. But for me, there is simply no separable bottle from this space, from this sound, from this body. For me, these names do not exist. It is all indivisible. In reality. But this must be deeply understood, and to understand this deeply you have to pay attention. But as long as your attention's on doubts, you will only know doubts. As long as your attention's on other information on other people, you'll know that. The thing is, my attention was directed very deeply into these aspects. I got to know this, so to speak. And you can do this too. What do you need to do? The same thing I did. Pay enough attention to yourself, and you will realize that it is all one. You can find and read the explanation in some other language if you need to. Sit down and open either Google or ChatGPT, whichever's easier. What else? I don't know. There are many religions that speak of everything being one. I don't know. Islam, Sufism, and others. Science has also proven that everything is one. You can read all the formulas, although all these words cannot really convey the essence. You can just sit down, distance yourself from all these words, and be blown away by pure bliss, by the unity, and then you can do a lot. But this is only possible if your attention goes the right way. Then you can move mountains, or at least you'll be able to really deeply understand that all these words are not the truth. What exists existed before all the words even appeared. And when you get it, you will see this unity. If you just sit and observe, you will see how everything happens simultaneously, even right now. You see how all these people move, some sleep, some do something. It's all happening, and every single movement of every person is cared for by some superior force. And it all is not accidental. You can't even imagine how it's connected, how it is all thought out. And the whole universe is so. Can't you see something currently supporting the entire universe in such a state? This shape. There is some oxygen, we breathe, seeds are planted, trees grow, it rains. Who thought it all out to happen like this? And something is taking care of it. It's visible, it is obvious. It is all one. It only appears divided to the human eye. Only to the human eye does it seem that this is something separate. That's simply because you perceive the world that way. You perceive the world through the lens of your mind. And your mind is what? 20, 30, 50, 100 years? Even if it's 1 billion. What is happening here is eternal. Even if you were 1 billion years old, your mind wouldn't comprehend eternity. There's no chance, because it is a product of eternity. It doesn't need understanding. And that's it couldn't be simpler. Really, it's that elementary. But when you just realize that it's all one and it's all now, it's over. You need something? It exists. That's it. You hold this knowledge within you. It changes your state. It changes thoughts, decisions, actions. Bam, all's here. Simple as that. But since you are a certain someone, you have experience, and it tells you the opposite. And so, you cling to it too much. You cannot accept what I'm saying now so easily. Because you do not know yourself. You don't know yourself because you cling to that experience. Because of all those people who tell you things, you still can't pay attention to yourself. So, I will tell a few stories. Before I learned to live in the present moment, I was good at, you could say I was even a master of state, visualization, and I still am, by the way. I mean, you see, my attention just somehow went there naturally, and I started focusing and creating reality. I remember I just pictured in my head already having something. I mean, obviously I had to learn first. Now, I can explain this exhaustively. For me, it is all very specific. I have already verified with certain experiences that it is all one without a doubt. First, I understood with my mind that it is. I knew it quite firmly, in fact. I studied a lot about unity, so I understood with my mind. I tried to comprehend this concept as much as possible. And then I started creating, pictured having 1 million followers. On TikTok, I mean on Instagram, and 1 million followers on TikTok. I had 5,000 followers or something like that on Instagram then, and around 25K on TikTok. And I just looked at them and knew that I had it. That's it, I looked at these images and knew that I had it. Before I was looking at images showing that I had 5,000, 25,000, preventing me from knowing. I made new images and looked at them. Then I went and bought money. You know, these packs of dollars, brought them home, looked at them, and knew that I had money. I just observed and knew that I had it. That's it, then I just sat. And it began to happen naturally like this. I sat and always focused my attention on the present moment. This is the thing you have to truly realize. There's no other way. Realize that it is all one and it is all now. But without the word now, actually. Not even now, it's just... You can only realize this by simply seeing that it is here. It's all here. That's all there is. Only this is real. Only this exists. You are always in the past and the future. The only existing thing is the now, and it's the only thing that existed throughout your life in every experience. There is no past or future. It's all in your mind. The past and the future are the movement of objects in space. The mind called this past and future, trying to point it out somehow, give some description. Not being in the description. It's like to rely on descriptions of food, instead of actually tasting it yourself. And live in this illusion. All of humanity lives like this. The knowledge that there is the past, the future, and the present time has confused all of humanity, and you can easily verify this from your own experience. If you can just honestly answer yourself whether there was anything else besides what exists now in your direct experience, then you will see that throughout all the time you have lived, there was only this. It has no names. It is not past, future, or present. It is simply something happening, and everything is it. So, the past, the future, all of this is just movement, but the mind named all of this. Some phenomena that it found, all kinds of connections with something and all that. And this confused everyone. It led everyone away from the only thing each has, which is this moment. It diverted the mind, and everyone's lost themselves. They search for themselves somewhere, sometime, but not here and now in the present moment. And you just have to start seeing this. You must leave all the information that has been shoved into you. And look for yourself what the past, future, and present is, where it is specifically. And you'll see that it's only here. Only here, on the phone, in some numbers. But in reality, you'll walk around and see no past, future, or present. You will only see the unchanging. Through experience. And then you need to deeply understand what this means. And these so-called spells must dissipate soon. What I mean by spells is the information that's been shoved into people regarding the past, and you shifted responsibility and just believed it. You live in a concept of time just because you were told to do so. And that's it, you're like, okay, so there is time. And there's a ton of stuff that you just blindly believe like that while you have direct experience right in front of you. Try to see for yourself how things are. Let's just say you'll be surprised. And this deception has gone so far that even seeing what happens right in front of them, people continue to live in the delusions imposed on them. This is such a human tragedy. They cannot change. I don't know how to explain, they're just like... There's this video circulating on the internet that shows an elephant who was tied to a pole with a rope. It walked around for 20 years, then they took off the rope, but it still felt like it's stuck in the loop. It felt like it remained trapped even though it was already free. And it's always been free, at least conditionally. And in the case of people, they have always been free, but they feel trapped. They are even afraid of being free at this point, even if you show them what the truth is. They look, end up stunned, catch an insight for an instant, and then continue doing what they did. For real. Incredible. So yeah, as soon as you realize that everything is one and it is now, you will see that this very direction of I want. It's just, how do I say it? It's the same thing. You can throw it away along with time. So you don't need to want anything, it's unnecessary. Better just forget that it exists. The word want, everything is now. Everything is the same thing. Accordingly, everything is now. And this is actually the simplest idea to ever exist. I mean, this is very simple knowledge. But because people live through the mind all their lives, they are used to complicating everything and all that. So they need to have it hard, they need to achieve, they need to run, and so on. You are God. Seriously, how can you achieve yourself? Just think about this for a moment. Don't you see at all how this happened? What happens before this matter shifts? State of mind, thought, decision, action. You need to see the chain of thought before something changes in space or any movement occurs. It happens unconsciously and very rapidly. You have to realize that everything that's happening within you is the same as what surrounds you. It is inseparable from you. It is you. You are observing yourself. What is happening in your life right now is determined by how you perceive yourself in the space. More precisely, yourself, because you and the space are inseparable. What is happening within you? If you are angry or offended, you think that people are thieves who are only doing bad things, then you are creating all of this and it exists in your world. If in your world there is big and small, right and good and so on, then it will all exist and you will see it. If there are wars in your world, you'll know them. Especially now, people simply cannot process information. Previously, in the era when there was no internet, a person always lived in the specific moment. They walked around and a lot was happening in the world. They simply didn't know about it. They only knew what was happening in their village and in the closest surroundings at most. There wasn't so much information, and now there is such a huge amount of it that it tears us apart. People simply can't cope with such amounts of it. They look at all of this, and it becomes their world. And what do they like to talk about, especially, say, if they grow up somewhere in the CIS, although it is the same in other places? What do they talk about there? What occupies their minds? Who hit whom, and who deceived whom, and all this other stuff, you know what I'm talking about. Who put whom in jail and so on. So their world is like this. And everyone who grew up there listened to this since childhood. I was told all this as well. So since childhood you are taught that the world is dangerous. And this information is everywhere. You look at this, and you believe in it. And you believe that nothing in life comes easily. And there's always this series of phrases. And that's it. And you, by virtue of your absoluteness, by paying attention to all this, you come to know it. And you just need to realize how it happens. You just need to realize that all your life right now is just your perception. It is what you perceive it as. It's your knowledge of what life is. But life is not like that. All the people in the world live differently. And still all of them, regardless of where they live, somehow lead different lives. Everyone lives the way they perceive this world. Each person on the planet lives as they perceive this world. Can you deeply understand this piece of knowledge? And stop looking around you and stop perceiving the world at all. Stop clinging to it, to your perception of the world. Replace your perception of the world. Learn to perceive the world differently. If you thought that everything is obtained with difficulty through hellish labor, forget that knowledge. Know that everything comes easily. It all starts with this. It all starts with this simple thought. And don't set any expectations. Just let it all become easy within you. Let this world become easy within you. Heal yourself, become joyful, become healthy. They say if you eat this, you will get sick and all this. This just indicates how much knowledge they have. That's not it. Simply learn to observe yourself, because you are already formed in a certain way anyway. Let's say even I speak in a certain way right now, and it's based on my previous experience. And I still remember how it used to be for me. When I was in a lot of debt and dealing with a bunch of problems and so on, I just observed myself. At some point I saw that I was kinda, I was not confident, right? But I thought, no, I am. I was just sitting and thinking this. I would say I can't, then think, no, I can. If something didn't work, I'd think it worked. I'd forget about what I want and focus on what I have. And every time I just observed myself like this. If I manifested in a certain way, I wouldn't care. How else can I manifest? But actually, how can I? How else can I perceive this? Remember, problems, pain, and suffering exist at the same time as solutions, opportunities, and joy. All this happens simultaneously. In every point, in every situation, in every person. Yes, you saw problems there, but now there is a solution and an opportunity. But for them to manifest before you, you must redirect your attention there. You have to simply redirect the attention inside of you to the knowledge of this solution and opportunity. You just can't see it yet. And you just keep believing that there is a solution and opportunities. You know they are out there. And you hold this feeling whether it's for 2 days or a week. You keep holding attention on the fact that there are solutions and opportunities. And they will begin to manifest before you. You start to see them. You see problems only because you give them attention. Imagine a room. There's a trash can, flowers, children playing, someone yelling. And you look at the trash can and at how someone is yelling. But there's a lot more happening there. But your attention is on the trash can and how someone is yelling. And you just need honesty here. It's all you really need in life. Total exhaustive honesty before yourself. And then you will start to see where your attention is, why it is there, where else it can be. You will start to see all of this. Okay, cool, no big deal. Yes, I look there, good, no problem. What else is here? And you bring your attention out. And then you begin to see the whole picture, all that's happening. You can direct it, focus it specifically on the possibilities and on the solutions, and they will manifest before you. But before anything at all manifests before you, it must first happen within you. How does it manifest before you? You automatically look for problems because you are used to them, and so you see them. This knowledge is already within you, so you immediately notice them. But why do you notice them specifically? Why are these the things you see? That's what you should ask yourself. Why? What else is happening here? Why do I see exactly this? So much is happening here after all. Yet I see exactly what I see. Because historically, throughout life, your attention was directed there constantly, and you got used to it, so you slip into this cycle. As soon as you see that your life right now is just a pile of thoughts, which you've been focusing your attention on for so many years, as soon as you see this, you will let them go. Just be present and they will all go away. Form new thoughts, any you like. Form your perception of both yourself and the world. I will tell you now. What I used to do is, wait, I haven't finished the previous story. So I made these pictures printed money like I have it, and it all started with this. Also, when I had debts, I stopped knowing that I had debts. I mean, before I changed my way of thinking, all I could think about were debts, debts, debts. And I changed it to paying salaries. I mean, I totally changed. I had no more debts. I mean, I basically stopped owing anyone. Within, people might have still believed that I owed them. But I no longer considered myself owing anyone. I was paying people salaries. And the bank too. And collectors. I had such opportunities that I paid them all salaries, not always on time. So yeah, I started changing this in me, what I knew about myself. I took my attention away from these problems, from debts, and redirected it to the fact that I'm paying salaries because I have opportunities. It's great. I just did it, and I didn't fight at all. No need to fight, just redirect your attention. By simply redirecting your attention, you should see where it is. You just need honesty and observation to do it, to see. And calmness. Calmness is key, it's crucial. Because if you are irritated, it means that's it, you can quit. Why are you irritated? Something has become very big. Your irritation or anger, or any kind of emotion similar to that, only appears at the moment when something, I mean some problem, becomes very big and overshadows everything. But if you are calm, you can see both whatever you perceive as a problem and everything else. In a state of calm, you can easily pass through anything. If there is something that really gets you worked up, you should learn. Be grateful to that situation and learn to bring yourself out of it into the state of calm. You shouldn't allow anything to get you worked up. And this also includes yourself. The thing that gets you worked up is your self-rejection. Accept the reality just the way it is. This is your gift. Let it stop irritating you no matter what is happening. Pay attention to the exact moment when your state changes from joy and calm to the state of anger or irritation. What caused the changes in my state? Was it a person and their words? What was it? Did money come and go? So what happened? And you find what the reason is. Well, for example, that the outcome didn't meet your expectations. After all, the expectations were unrealistic. You see this, you find this. Then you Thank the reality for showing you your real self. You see, what happened happened, and there's nothing you can change. And you're angry and irritated not because of the way things happened, but just because of your perception. This is your personal perception of what is right and what is wrong. You remember that if it rains, and 100 people are watching and perceiving it, some enjoy it, some hate it, some are angry, and so on, and their emotions are a cause of perception. It is not the rain. What happens in the world happens. It is what it is. You are angry and suffering, and all this anger is directed at yourself. And this is your shifted responsibility. Like, because it happened this way, I am now angry. This is ignorance. And you thank the situation for showing you this ignorance. And you accept it the way it is. It will free you. And in the future, when it happens, it won't affect you. And thus, when you go through all the situations in which something changes your state to anger, joy to anger and irritation, this is actually the most important thing in your life at that moment. Nothing else matters. This is because of your self-rejection. You see this and accept it the way it is, and it will free you. That's it, you will then move forward freely. It is impossible to make me worked up, to hurt me, to offend me, and so on. Impossible. I am standing still, someone is yelling at me, and I'm just observing the phenomenon of a yelling person, and it is incredibly beautiful. They are spending so much energy, and when you observe this calmly, it just doesn't bother you. Everything you observe in the state of calmness, it just then doesn't bother you. Everything you observe in the state of calmness, don't take it. But if you react to it, then it keeps living. And if you just observe it, then it starts to feel awkward and disappears. It just understands that this doesn't work, so it doesn't affect anyone. And in my own experience, everything is a single whole. All these sounds, each sound is the same. This is intelligence. Everything you think about, that's it, and nothing should hurt you. You shouldn't hurt yourself. When someone is angry and yelling, it's you. Look at this. Look how beautiful it is. Let it happen. Let it be. Don't interfere with it happening. Let it shout everything it wants. Shout everything you want. Observe it. They will yell and then calm down. And that's it. They won't do it again. As soon as the space sees that it can't affect you, it will stop because it will feel awkward to constantly stand and yell when no one reacts to it. You see? And this applies to everything. However, if it's so easy to hurt you, to provoke you, and so on, it will keep happening to you until you learn this lesson. It's very simple. So, when something that makes you lose your temper happens, the most important is the very fact, the very moment. Be grateful for this lesson and accept it the way it is. And in order to do this, you just need to focus and observe. So, you actually neither accept nor reject. You simply observe the phenomenon, and it disappears. And that's it. From now on, such phenomena cannot affect you. And that's all. The lesson is learned. It won't happen to you anymore. And this also applies to debts and stuff, literally anything. You don't know what that is. You don't know if that is debts or salaries. You go beyond everything. This is like, for example, what I have now. At first I had no experience, but it all worked out, although I didn't know anything. I just observe. I always say, well, I used to be happy when money came, and worried when it left. But now there is no difference. Money comes, money goes. It's like putting and taking away this bottle. And this applies to everything. People, money, anything. There is no difference. You just observe how things come and go. And you know for sure that whatever comes will go. Just don't lose yourself. Things come and go. It is something that cannot be changed. This phenomenon is absolutely clear. Things come, things go, that's all. You just observe while it is here. But the thing that doesn't change is you. That's what freedom is. So, that was the turning point. I started to think. And imagine that I already have 1 or even 2 million followers on TikTok. I didn't think about how it would happen. So, how does it work? Well, I sit, close my eyes, and then I just start dreaming wildly about it. So, how do I do it? I am like, what will I do? I will call to my friends and relatives and tell them about it. Look, Mom, look, I managed to do something, for example. I just call or take a screenshot and send it to someone. I just imagine the situation, that it happened, that it is happening. I imagine how I rejoice, tell someone about it. Like, okay, how do I work? Where do I work? Who do I work with? How does it happen, right? What am I shooting now? What do I want now? So, I let it pass through me as much as I could. It happened. And I didn't think about how it happened because all this was unimportant. I didn't spend time on it. Just the moment of it being there, I realized that everything is one whole, and I was like, okay. And I realized that attention doesn't care what to learn. It is now looking at this, it is learning this. If you now focus your attention on the sound, it will learn the sound. If you direct your attention to your fingertips, everything will be out of focus. The fingertips will prevail. When you close your eyes, you focus on different images, thoughts, and so on. Your mind is there, your now is there, and your reality is there too. Where your attention is, that is what you learn. Very simple. Thus, you close your eyes and simply dwell with your attention. Your now goes there, and you dwell with your attention in images of what you need right now, knowing that it exists. It is not even needed, otherwise it disappears. I need it, it disappears. Here I am telling you about this, and this knowledge doesn't exist anymore. It disappears due to a deep understanding of the fact that everything exists as a whole thing. Everything is the same thing. Due to a very deep understanding of unity. Because this shows the speed of how quickly everything can manifest. If your attention is scattered on doubt, like a person wants something, and then their attention scatters on doubts. They want a car, for example, and then doubt. What if something goes wrong? What if I don't have enough money? What if? And there are a bunch of what ifs or something else. And here their attention, 100% of their attention, is scattered on all these thoughts. And something is learned from this, and then it happens. And what you need is just to concentrate your attention on the knowledge that it exists, and that's it. But for it to happen so easily, you need to deeply, very deeply learn the unity of everything. Because due to the fact that you have not learned the unity of everything, you doubt. You doubt because you simply have not learned the unity of everything. A huge number of materials about unity. You can find, I don't know, for your mind, but the most comprehensive material is here and now, your real experience. And you just need to spend some time with this, maybe a whole day, and to thoroughly learn the concept of unity, so that there is no difference for you. You just take the bottle and place it. Here it is. It is still here. And you look at your sensations in the body. You feel where something is moving, shifting. There seem to be doubts. If it is true, then continue. Practice until there are no differences. And then you close your eyes form images of something being there. That's what I did. And I formed images of what I have. It is all already happening. There are followers, all that. By the way, I can also grow this popularity in Zoom. They are similar, this Zoom and the next live. Maybe we will just continue like this. And further, it formed a certain state. You inevitably see how it changes your state. You feel different. The state changes your thoughts, decisions, and actions. So, you communicate with people in the state of joy. Yes, in the state of joy. Calmness, gratitude. This is one type of communication. If you communicate with the same person in the state of anger, it will be a different communication. When you cook in the state of joy, love, and gratitude, it happens differently, more easily. This process goes differently. The same process. Do you see this? It's super simple. Depending on what state you're in, the sequence of events will develop differently. In the state of, I want something, in your direct experience, meaning this is your specific vibrational setting, you are wanting then. It is here now, and right now, you are wanting. You will be wanting, you will experience the moment when you don't have it, and while you want it all this time, you see that you are so absolute and everything is here now, and so, while you want something, it means you don't have it. Accordingly, you will experience the moment that you don't have it. You need to understand this deeply. And want nothing more. You don't need to want something. Everything is here now. Do you need something? It's here now. But if you keep wanting it, you forever will be broken. You will just go in circles. And keep learning, but you will. You will receive what you need. The wanting moment. The moment when you are wanting. And so, it turns out that I formed this knowledge for myself, and here it is, this state. My state has changed. What I have, it increasingly started to manifest. Regardless of what images were there, other images prevailed. I started to pay more attention to them. And when you pay more and more attention to something, it seems like it becomes a part of you. You know this about yourself now. Before that, you knew something different. But why did you know something different about yourself? Because you paid your attention to that. Well, before that I saw that I had 5,000 followers. Well, roughly, or there were 20,000 or whatever. And that was what I knew about myself. I stopped looking at it, stopped paying attention to it, and directed all my attention to the fact that now I have new pictures. I made them in Photoshop like now I have 1 or 2 million followers. And I directed my attention there all day long. And I knew this about myself. And the other just fell away. And this began to prevail. In this state I began to experience it. The mind can call it self-deception and so on, but don't even think about the existence of self-deception. Get rid of that. Just forget that. And that's it, I just focused my attention on this. And attention doesn't care, it is working now. Where it is, what it is focused on, it learns everything. And you, well, just start to develop a series of events. I thought, damn, it would be cool to make money like this, to have a lot of money. To look at it all day long and know that I have a lot of money. Real and fake, it is all in your head. You look at the money, and who makes it real or fake? Only your mind. And I saw this and I was like, damn, awesome. I bought myself some money and put a pile of it on the table, and awesome, it's real. For me, they were totally real, and became so. At that time, I had a debt of 20 million. I bought myself a bunch of money, put it on the table, and knew that I was rich, I was a millionaire. And everyone was laughing at me, saying the money was fake, but it turned into real money for me. That's why I don't care what others think. They will stay in their own world. The main thing is not to lose yourself. No matter what people think, they are also obsessed with what they were told, what was imposed on them. And when they see someone breaking free, they try to crush him, make him feel bad and guilty and so on. This is how they treat themselves. They were shaped this way, and they treat themselves just the same. And you just watch this. Watch and move on, leaving them to stew in their own juice. So, it doesn't matter whether someone believes in you or not. What matters is what you see. What you see sitting at the table in your direct experience. At some point, you will start to see how everyone around, how mistaken they are, how wrong they are. As soon as you simply unsee everything the way it happens, you will see how just. They have slandered about you. They are immersed in this slander. So, I've seen a dollar bill so many times in my life. But at that moment I was sitting and looking at it, and I realized that it was the most popular thing on the planet. All of humanity works for it from morning till night. So, my perception has changed. I mean, before that I was just sitting and thinking. And I started filming videos, and bam, I got 1 million followers in 4 days, then 3 million followers in a month, and 15 million in a year. I remember I was sitting. I was like, I want a collaboration. There was a moment when I hid videos with 5 million views. I felt uncomfortable that my videos were getting 5 million views. So, each of my videos got from 20 to 100 million views. So at some point, each of my videos got at least 5 million views, and I felt discomfort. I was ashamed that I had such low views. You can't imagine how fired up I was then. I had to hide those videos so no one would see them. And I remember I was sitting, I was like, I want a collaboration with Khaby Lame. At that time, Khaby Lame was the most popular TikToker in the world. Well, he still is. He has about 150 million subscribers. He's dark-skinned and does like this. I sit and visualize that it is happening now. 2 ideas come to my mind. I immediately get up. I walk over to the table, just take a few steps. I say, please film me. I get filmed, and literally in 1 minute I shoot 2 videos. Very simple videos. I post them one after the other. They're gaining 110 and 80 million views each in 1 week. In a week, Khaby Lame will post a collaboration with me. If you tell a person, do a collaboration with Khaby Lame, they will think it's hard, impossible, a bunch of different thoughts, expensive and so on. I didn't even reach out to him. I just sit down, knowing it exists, it gives me 2 ideas, I stand. I had no doubt about these ideas, I didn't ask if it would fit or not. God sent me 2 ideas, that's it, great, I got up, did it, posted. With total faith that this is it. I didn't ponder on them. These are right ideas, those are not. There are no other ideas, just one came. What's wrong with it? I don't complicate it at all. A week passes. In that week, these videos collectively got almost 200 million views. They could have got much less. It happened by some miracle. And he posts the collaboration. That's it, and this way. For me, the primary thing became the state. For the next several years, I would come to the meeting. I knew how it would go. So for me, the primary thing, before I do anything, is the state that it has already happened. I learned to maintain this state. So it was. In reality, It was predetermined to happen that way. I was just observing how all these phenomena manifest through this body, and I thought that it could do absolutely everything. So, I am in fact telling you how technically it happened through this body and was observed. Well, I technically examined everything down to the millimeter. Yes, and so I came to the point that everything it, by the way, somehow feels natural already. I mean, it happens naturally. Naturally. Consequently, my attention went there. I learned this information, and it seemed to have always been learned in reality. And it happens naturally. If something is needed, it is there. To this day it, boom, like this speaking happens naturally. So does everything else. If something is needed, boom, and it just, boom, and it appeared. Everything changes. People change. I was recently driving, and I realized one thing. I just perceive the process like clairvoyance. When I say something, I know that I haven't chosen those words. I had no idea. It just came out. Maybe it will grow. That's why I don't feel responsible. People often say I have many projects, contracts and stuff. And how do I not worry and all that? Because I didn't choose this. It happens just by itself. I just, somehow, observe how it all arises, you know? These people somehow appeared. For some reason I came up with a product that needs a contract like this. That is, it all had an impact. And just, bam, and it happens. And it closes itself, it appears by itself. These contracts are executed easily. Because I am free from them all this time. This is how I live now. And there I was specifically achieving. I was specific. I was a mad achiever. I would work until 5 a.m. and at 10 a.m. a person would wake me up so I could keep working. Every morning for a year. Rodion would come to my house. By the way, we are currently filming a documentary in Tajikistan. And every morning at 10 o'clock, he would come to my place to wake me up. And, moreover, I rented about 7 apartments, one for Rodion. There also was our office. And right there was a music studio, just underground. And so, to have everyone close, I didn't go anywhere from there. Everyone who wanted to see me lived there. So, I was just so obsessed. I was managing 9 artists there, and also developed myself. So, I made 15 million for myself that year, and for Vova, and a bunch of other projects. So, I attracted about 40 million followers that year. For everyone. And I was just crazy in this regard. I mean, I was working all day long like a madman. Well, relatively speaking, that's it. And I would work until 5 a.m. every day, and at 10 a.m., a person would just come to me to wake me up, to keep me working. And whatever I did, I knew it was happening at that moment. So I had already been practicing and practicing. So for several years straight, I have been working really hard. And I have already brought it to automatism. So when I need something, I just do it. If I need something, for example, I immediately close my eyes and begin to experience it. It happens within me. Look, even when I'm on my way to a meeting, I know how it will go. I do something. I know how it will go. It happens naturally, just happens. This is primary. What happens within me? All creativity happens within me. All creativity happens within me and manifests in space. My attention is always here and now. It is always within me. That's it. And thus, I simply stopped seeing how anything changes in space. Where do changes in space begin? They begin here and now within you. And then, something happens in space. When you see this connection very well, you take your attention from everywhere over there, and stop waiting for something to change. All humanity is waiting for something to change somewhere, and then they will be joyful. They are constantly waiting for something to change somewhere, to be someone right now. But I am not waiting for anything or anyone. I am changing here, and everything around me is changing. And that's it. But for this, you just need to see this whole chain. It is simple. And this just needs attention to yourself. So everything happens this way. All of this, it all happens naturally. Just happens. And then I had already formed a whole, so to say. A multitude of thoughts about myself which I am telling you about. I wrote down my perception of myself. I read this perception of myself daily. And it was the first time, after I learned to visualize all of this a few years ago, I wrote my perception of myself. I am going to read it to you now. And that's it. Every morning I read it like it was my knowledge about myself, so that all my other thoughts would disappear when I had to communicate with different people. They all have their own experience, and they say something, say, and my attention is paid to everything they say. And it is paid in any case. I then began to filter their words, so that no one would talk about something negative in my presence. Just let them discuss all of this with someone else. I started filtering a lot, who discusses what in my presence at that time, and my attention just started to develop and grow only in certain figures that I was interested in, and so on. Only there. That's it. And everything else, no doubts. No extraneous thoughts. I simply did not pay my attention to everything extraneous, to all of that. I suggested that it could be like this, and if like this didn't work, I simply did not communicate. Very simple. And I didn't waste my attention, even if they were my relatives, it didn't matter. This is my life, I have to live it somehow. I will not torture myself because they want to torture themselves. I don't care, let them torture themselves. I do not impose myself on anyone. And I am not trying to save anyone or to change something in life and all that. Let them live as they want to. I give everyone the opportunity to experience what they want to experience. That's it. The question is, I understand that I cannot change their lives. I am the only one here. People come and go. That's why I left everyone alone. I directed my attention to myself, and here, I can do everything with myself, and that's all. That is where my attention is. But in reality, when my life has changed, this change in my life has affected the change of a large number of people. And perhaps, if before that I tried to change everything like that, to help, it probably wouldn't have worked out. But it is unknown in reality. It turned out the way it turned out. So then I started to form such a perception of myself. I'm going to read it to you now. I know it is huge. At that time I had an ego of infinite size. Specifically, perception of myself. So, I am a happy, grateful, loving, healthy person with absolute faith in God and an audience of 500 million people. On Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. My knowledge benefits hundreds of millions of people on planet Earth. I am the founder of the largest holding in the world. I am the founder of a modern community of people who develop humanity and bring it benefit. I have tens of billions of dollars at my disposal, which benefit the universe, realize all my ideas and those of talented people. The ideas of talented people multiply and once again benefit the universe. My character is one of the most popular on planet Earth. I have a music album that was ranked #1 in the global Billboard chart. I have acted and continue to act in various world-class movie projects, and I also directed my own movie based on real events, and it is now one of the most popular movies in the world. And this is just a brief overview, next I, so to say. I clarify a bit from myself. Here, faith in God. I know that I owe my life to a higher form than myself. I learn to be His eyes, hands, feet, ears, voice, and everything I can be for Him, to fulfill His will. For this I learn to be open. I do not look from above, I do not look from below. I learn to be aware of every moment, to see everything as it is. I am grateful for this opportunity and know that I must help people and the universe to function properly and not lose faith in myself. I trust God. Love, happiness, and gratitude. I know that I am perfect. I came into this world already like this. I am not searching for anything, because I know that everything is already inside me and around me. I choose the feelings I want to experience. I feel infinite love, from God, because wherever I look, I see abundance in everything. I give this love to humanity. I am happy. I am grateful every day. And I know that happiness is a choice, and I choose this emotion, and with great enthusiasm I walk my path, a healthy body and spirit. I realize how important it is to develop the soul and keep it in a healthy state, so that it can recover more easily, recover after this life. So, to be honest, I was writing some kind of madness. I'm reading it now and thinking, what the hell is that? Yes, I mean, now of course everything looks very funny. Well, I hadn't yet lived through the experience. I was just like that. I had such an ego, and I wrote all of this. That's why I meditate, do yoga, and get rid of those forms of dependency that cling to my physical body. I made my character, my mascot, popular. I created my character, a mascot, and made him popular using my social media. My character creates content for me around the world at the same time. This led to me becoming one of the most popular characters on the planet, since the character generates such a volume of content that no other person on earth can create. My character gives concerts around the world simultaneously. The most popular music album in the world is Earth of Space. The album shows the connection between Earth and space, showing people that they all live on one planet, but they live so differently, and how they live and what they feel is solely their choice. This was facilitated by two main triggers. The first person in the history of humanity to record his album line by line in the most popular places on Earth, and the first person in the history of humanity to record a song in space. With the album Earth of Space, I made at least 15 billion views worldwide. And after returning from space, the algorithm kicks in. Hundreds of millions of streams from all over the world. Send it to the top of the global music chart. The most popular movie in the history of humanity. The history of the album Earth of Space became super popular worldwide. Directors from all over the world lined up to make a movie about a boy who changed himself and changed the whole world around him. This movie was shown worldwide, and its box office became the largest in the history. Its purpose was to show people that there's no need to search for anything. Everything is already here. The movie shows that I am just a person like them. And only when I changed myself from within, my whole life changed. The movie teaches people to be happy, grateful every day, and teaches them to do everything with love, to live with love, to teach, to realize, learning and development. My knowledge is used by hundreds of millions of people. I know that I must share my knowledge with people, so I create a lot of educational content in the field of mindfulness and manifestation. My lessons are becoming bestsellers around the world, all at super affordable prices. I want people all over the world to understand that the universe and earth are the same for all people, and only what is in their heads and hearts separates them from the life of their dreams. I have opened and am still opening mindfulness schools around the world, because I believe that if a person learns mindfulness, they will go and do everything they need to do for their life and the lives of others in the world. And such people are safe for the environment. I travel around the world and gather huge stadiums, to share with people the story of my life and the knowledge that inspires them to start working on themselves. Charity, creating the Save the World Fund. The majority of the money that me and my brand receive from all businesses and areas of my activity, 50% or more, I donate to solving global problems. I help people, create mindfulness schools and so on. Here. Paintings, art. I love to paint. Well, that's the story. Specifically this. I wrote down a bunch of things, everything that I needed, right? And this was my perception of myself. I read it all day long, read. Listened again. Next, I made a bunch of reminders that I received every hour. More than 1 billion people follow me on all social networks. I am a dollar billionaire, love for God and gratitude. More than 500 million people follow me on Instagram. Here, I am on the cover of Forbes magazine. Earth of Space is the most popular music album and so on. I have a healthy body and spirit. I am here now, reading the list. I make videos that always resonate. That is, these are just thoughts. And all day long, my attention was daily, hourly in these thoughts. So, I realized that I cannot constantly concentrate on this. And this way I was able to keep my attention on these thoughts, due to the fact that everything was just there. My entire apartment. I woke up and, you see this board? These boards have been with me for many years. Well, for 4 or 5 years. I woke up, and in front of me was my bed with the caption, "Champion, get up. It's time to save the world." And there are many different thoughts already written about who I am and so on. That is, the first thing I saw upon waking was that caption. That's it, and I went to sleep again, looking at it. Wherever I looked, everywhere, at home, in the office. These reminders were everywhere. I even have that to this day, the consciousness of Anar dreams, 1,000,000 followers. Well, an image was created. I am now free from this, but it just happened. It was created. So yes, I just constantly look at this. That's it. And it just knows that it exists. And then somehow everything falls into place. And this, and that's it. I did this too. Because I meet different people, and they have all sorts of doubts and so on. And communication just happens. And in communication, attention is focused on their words. Or you scroll through your phone, watch some videos, your attention is drawn to what was said there. Something happened somewhere. There are news on Telegram or on TV. And your attention starts to scatter there. And so I started trying to do it this way, so that all my attention, most of it was focused on my perception of my world. And the whole world changed in an inexplicable way. I don't seek explanations for this, they don't exist. So just write down your perception of yourself, and just look at it. Look and imagine. So, I read all of this. It still evokes emotions. After all, you feel something when you read all this about yourself, and you don't have to do it like I do. You can do it your way, just as you want to. Make your own. This. Well, and this. Well, by the way, at this moment I've let it all go. I wrote it then. But now I don't care. I just stay in the moment, what comes, what goes. Something like that. I have freed myself from all of this. Just imagine. Back then I also thought that I was making this choice, and everything like that. And it was written almost in every line that I was choosing something. I specifically lived very rigidly in this concept of achievement, of the idea that a choice can be made. It remained relevant for a long time. And one day, so to say, I paid attention to myself and saw everything as it really is during spiritual practice. And I freed myself from everything. All my desires were instantly fulfilled. I surpassed all my desires. I found that which is beyond all desires, that which all desires combined cannot give me, not like I found it. But it was always here. It is here and now. But all these desires, constantly obscured. Every day I woke up, and what did I think? Immediately the board, everything is written on it. I ran straight to God knows where and God knows why. And so all day long, I was achieving something. All day long my attention was focused on creating some kind of world. And there was no joy. Only my ego was growing from all these so-called achievements, and achievements were only for the ego. In reality, there were never any achievements. I had never achieved anything. In reality, it just was happening by itself, and it happens and will happen. But I didn't know that, simply out of ignorance, just because my attention was focused on all of this. But it was part of my path. My path. So yes, if you need to achieve something and so on, it's all very simple. You need to deeply understand the unity of everything. Deeply understand that time does not exist in the concept in which you perceive it. When you realize this, there will no longer exist future, past, and present. There will only be this. If something is needed, it exists now, totally. Both future and present and also past, they all exist now. Yes. And then you write everything you need down. You know that it exists. You just reread it. Form images. As much as possible, with all your attention, more and more. Just stay in this. It changes your state. When the state changes, thoughts, decisions, and actions also change, and the sequence of events. There is one more point. Life can begin to change quantumly, at a tremendous speed. The speed depends on how exhaustive this knowledge is within you. That is, if you want something, for example, you want to take a bottle, An infinite number of paths leads to any of your goals or tasks. So you just need to understand this. Wherever you go, an infinite number of paths leads to it. You can take it like this, like this, like this. I can go out, walk around the house several times. I can walk around the house 1,000 times. I can swim across the sea. I can fly around the planet. So, an infinite number of paths leads to your goal. How can I learn to take the shortest path to my goal wherever I go? This path must be traversed within yourself, but to traverse it within yourself, you need to realize that the entire path is actually from one state to another. From the state, I want to take the bottle, to the state, I know it's in my hands. From the state, I want something, to the state, I know it is here now. So, at the moment you receive what you want, at the very moment when you receive what you want, at that moment you will not want it anymore. Can you realize it? And then you will know exhaustively that you have it now. That is all you need. Realize this. Here, what you want is when you receive it. At the very moment when everything is there, it has happened. You will no longer want it. And even a drop, just a drop of wanting, will be dissolved. What will remain is the total exhaustive knowledge that it is here now. If you can unsee this, that is all you need, and the speed lies in this. In the fact that you totally, exhaustively know that this bottle is currently on the table. And even if the whole world, all of humanity says that it is not here, you totally hold this knowledge, without scattering on any doubts, no doubts, nothing extra. Total knowledge that it is here now. And it manifests. And this applies to everything, because there is no difference between the bottle and a thought, a feeling, a person, anything. It's all the same. But for this you just need a deep understanding, a very deep understanding of what really changes. And this speed of people is here. Here is their faith, they do something, and what actually changes? The faith changes in the state, the faith that they are a bit closer. They are a bit closer, a bit closer, a bit closer. And here they are laying bricks. They are doing something. They are struggling in the external world to, sitting here, allow themselves to think differently, a little bit differently. And I simply, sitting here, change my state, and everything around me changes. Recently we were driving and I said, well, something like this. I said, I need land here. 100 hectares. And here I have already told this story recently, right? We went there, first looked at the land ourselves, found other very beautiful lands. And my friend just receives a video which says this. Anar, I have 100 hectares of land here. Let's build something here and stuff. And it manifests by itself. It happens by itself. And this knowledge is exhaustive, it is super important, but it is only possible when you realize the unity of everything. As long as you have division, as long as possible and impossible exist, you understand that the thought of earning dollars and the thought of earning $50 million, there is no distinction between them in reality. You need to deeply understand this. For you, one thing is possible and the other is impossible, because you are relying on your experience. You have experience, you have lived for some years, and your experience specifically shows you what is possible and what is not. And this is a delusion, this is not true. Your experience is one infinite part of who you are, and of what is happening here. Your experience is simply what you have paid attention to, you have comprehended it. But there is something else. But for you to comprehend that there is something else, you need to pay attention to it. But if your attention is held on to your experience, to what you have seen before, well, this is what you comprehend. There are no distinctions between thoughts. There is no big or small. People have instilled that you need to climb a ladder somewhere and so on. That like salary changes up the ladder, that first you need to earn 50,000, then 100,000, then 150, then a million, and so on. And this is not true. I mean, for a person, if they need to reach a certain income, a million for example, I don't know, rubles, dollars, whatever, they think that first they need to make a small income, then more. I will show you something now. Listen, this is so simple. All of humanity strives towards a goal. Gradually, little by little, they are heading towards something. To any goal. I don't know, to a million followers, dollars, rubles, I don't know. Anything. Gradually, they are building something. But in reality, here you are, and all these options are equally distant, and are existing now. Well, that's how it really is. But since in your world you have to achieve this gradually, you learn about the world where you have to achieve it gradually. In my world, this doesn't exist. All these thoughts, they are just thoughts. Can you imagine it? Imagine if I want to take this bottle of water. This is, let's say, 1,000,000 rubles, right? What does a person do? They first take this pillow, 50,000 rubles. Then this napkin, 100,000 rubles. This napkin, 150,000 rubles. This marker, that marker. They take everything around. And all this will allow them and give them a feeling that they deserve to come and take 1,000,000 rubles. That is their entire gradual journey. And why did you even spend time on everything else? It's all the same, you could have just come and take it right away. But in their world it's impossible because everyone around has instilled in them that they must first work hard, go through all of this entire career ladder, and only then you can come and take this. And this is all different, it's different. And in my world it all exists simultaneously, right now. Here, the thought that 1,000,000 rubles, a billion, I don't know, it doesn't matter, $1, these are all the same thoughts. And they are, right here and now, are all in front of me. The question is, what do I want to interact with? Do you want to communicate with Masha, with Katya, with Oleg, with Ivan? You don't have to talk to all these people in order to reach out to that person. You can go straight to that person and communicate with them. And it's just like that. But because you have experience, and you are identified with it, it doesn't work that way for you. You have a whole career. It's madness. You have it within yourself. I don't care what thought I have to know within me, that I have this or that. I will just take it, knowing that it exists now. And that's it. I don't care how the sequence of events will manifest. I'm not interested in it. Let it manifest in its own way. I will see how it manifests. Because my experience lacks knowledge of how it can manifest. It manifests in an inexplicable way. And that's it. I just know that it exists now. And it will form thoughts, decisions, actions, a sequence of events. And the main thing is to be attached to nothing, to no one. Because if something changes in you, then the current world will collapse. But in reality it will just change. But this can be perceived as destruction. And then people start to stress, to worry. And attention shifts to this stress, and the situation may worsen. So be careful with your desires, with this technique that I'm talking about. Yes, so you need to listen to it very carefully, to understand it very deeply, so that when your state changes, you are not attached to anything. And when your state changes, just watch. Because if you are attached to someone, to some person, because if your state has changed, or the city you live in has, or the team, something will change, without any doubts. So, especially if you have a sudden change, if you, for example, have some small income, or you are running some serious business, well, it can be big or small. It can change quantumly. And you might not expect it. You are already used to your current life, and it can just all fall apart. Everyone you know, just everything, will change in some way, and you will find yourself in a completely different reality. It will be just another reality. But you will not get scared. Because I am not attached to anything. I have had a bunch of teams change and so on. I mean, they all stayed where they were. Something changes in me. Everything changes. Cities change, countries, people, and so on. I don't care. I just calmly, simply, like in a museum, walk through its numerous halls. In solitude, in total solitude, not tied to anything or anyone, I am alone. I walk, discovering myself in all my infinite manifestations. That's it. Who comes, comes. Who goes, goes. Money comes, goes. Everything else comes. It all comes and goes. I just watch and move on. And everything is here now. No career ladder and so on. What is needed is here now. I keep this knowledge until it manifests, if I'm interested in it, and if I am not, then it means something else will interest me. Eternally, be where your attention is. By the way, another important thing. Don't force yourself to do something. As I have told you, it is not necessarily needed by everyone. Yes, I have different Zooms. Many Zooms. And wait, I need a charger. These Zooms are for different mindsets, so to say, and for different readiness of people. And someone will see this, and they will realize, just as I explained, that all is one, and they realize that if it is the moment, then everything happens here. They will not do anything. They do not need to. So, they may just hear this. They may have no desire to do this, but naturally, it will just happen. When you focus your attention, it is perfect. Don't force yourself to do this. So, for example, you have listened to 4 of my Zooms, and be where your attention naturally goes. Naturally, with ease. I mean, don't force, don't torture yourself. Just don't. Often some people keep working on something even if it goes wrong and they see how others succeed in it. This means they need it. Well, just be where you are. Don't lose yourself. Don't ask who is successful at what, and so on. And don't brag about your success. Be yourself. Don't seek support from anyone. Do not need anyone's support. You won't get it there. You will just sit and wait. Let go of yourself, free yourself from all these expectations and so on. You need yourself here and now. And be where your attention is. If your attention can comprehend this information, comprehend it. If it can comprehend other information, let it do that. Comprehend that information which you are comprehending, even if it is different. You just let it all be. Do not waste your time and attention on worrying about something or doubting if it will work out or not. Just know that everything is one whole. If you realize this, then in all divisions you will see unity. They say, well, Anar, if everything is one whole, then how can you talk about the fact that you can choose something? So to say, very simple, here it is also unified. What I talk about regarding the ability to choose is a non-choice reality that has manifested. Just hear the first line that everything is one whole. If you have heard that everything is one whole, then everything else really doesn't matter. It's the same, no matter how it sounds. You just assigned some meaning to these words, sounds, and so on. And that's it, you left and focused on division. But you quickly forgot the words, that everything is one whole. Everything is one whole means what it means. Everything is one whole. To a single point, including yourself. That's it, and what comes after? Like, it is written in my book that God is one. In reality, what is written further is the same line, the same letter, the same word. Well, I just wrote down what I felt at that moment, just as it flowed. But one knowledge is enough. Don't cling to just one, just learn this, and that's all. And then, how it happens in your direct experience, It knows by itself what life to learn through itself. And you will just be at peace in this case. So, for you perhaps, peace is only if you live and stay within yourself. That is, if you do not lose yourself, if you are not trying to be this, that, to be like this one, like that one, like anyone, you are within yourself. Even if you are a janitor, you will be, in such a state of joy that billionaires cannot be in. Perhaps all the billionaires on the planet believe me. So, I mean, their life and the way they will be present in this space. It will be infinitely different from how you will be present, because everything must be in its place. If you are in your place, then the state in which you will be, this lightness in which you will be, will surpass all the blessings. Whoever you are, it has thought it through, and it has taken care of. Who should appear where, who should do what, and so on. Just be yourself. Do not look at others. Where attention naturally goes, let it be there. If it wants to sleep, let it sleep. If it wants to eat, let it eat. Do not ponder, am I eating right or wrong? Am I allowed to sleep or not? Do not blame yourself. Do not engage in all this nonsense. Just be where you are now. Do what is being done. Say what is being said. See what is being seen. Hear what is being heard. Do not assess it. Do not describe it. Do not judge it. Do not ponder on it. Be that. That's it. Just be what you are, without expectations of how things will go further. Just watch. And then there will be no differences for you. Whether the money comes or goes, it will be the same. Something has changed. And then you will feel incredible lightness and joy, and absolutely no suffering. You will always be able to return to your usual way of life. It won't go anywhere if don't want. But learn what I am talking about. But to learn this, you will have to put everything aside, everything you have ever known. That's the only chance to learn this. Learn. You will return if you want to. You see, it's like taking off old slippers. While you have old slippers on, the new ones are not very comfortable, they kind of don't fit. Take off the old slippers, put them aside. Put on the new ones, maybe they will be more comfortable. If not, feel free to return to the old ones. So, I see you have questions. Interesting. We don't have much time. Let's answer a couple of questions. Come on, Yaroslav. We'll start with you. I will answer just a few questions, and then we have the next Zoom. Actually, we will continue talking on this topic. Probably we need to delve into financial popularity. Alex, please turn on the sound for Yaroslav. And turn on the chat too, turn on the chat, and Yaroslav. How sunny it is there. Alex, are you here? Alex seems to have fallen asleep. Now we will wake him up. Alex, can you please turn on Yaroslav in the chat? Thank you.
Good afternoon, Anar. Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi.
Anar, I have a question. I've been traveling for 2 weeks now. I am in that state you were talking about. Yes, enjoy. It's like, everything is one, everything is wonderful. I feel great inside. But I don't have the state of striving for something. There is no goal, no desire to earn money, no desire to do anything. So it's like everything is unified within me. I am in some state of joy and peace, but I don't want to do anything further. There are no goals, nothing. So I am in such a state of the moment. But I see you constantly have some projects. You are making films. Your life is full of movement. And I am in the state where I don't want to do anything. I want to just to stay in one place. I am not sure if this is okay or not. So I have this state, some bliss, but at the same time, I don't want to do anything.
Look, you see, I do have projects, but I don't choose them, just like I don't choose to speak right now. Well, I need it this way, this was given to me. So, I am free from all of this. I am being myself. In my case, being myself means doing what is being done. In your case, it's being in this state, and everything is in its place, and everything is fine. Be yourself. I mean, you don't need to have projects. Don't lose yourself. Everything is fine with you. It's your mind that lacks movement. It wants to go somewhere. Looking at me. Don't look at me. Be yourself. That's all you need, to be yourself. That's what I'm saying. I've been saying this throughout this Zoom. You see, I'm giving you different information. It's for different people. If you found this, then just be it. Remember that. Be yourself. You don't need to seek anything or achieve more and so on. But just many people, they still can't settle down and see everything as it is. They still want to achieve something. And such people represent all of humanity. Zooms about spirituality where I say that everything is simple, everything happens by itself, just watch. You see, humanity is not ready for this. It's not in demand. There, across the road, some people, somewhere there. Just talk about how to achieve everything and people will immediately rush there. For example, I have to tell people how to achieve different things and all that. I mean, they've already heard it, but then they see that, damn, you can also do it like this, simpler, and that's it. Understand that it catches attention anyway. And then develops. Yes, and this. I just explained. You be the attention, everyone should be attention where they have it. Wherever it is capable of knowing, it will be there. Even if you turned on this Zoom of mine not from the very beginning, you found it among all my Zooms. I have so many ones, and when a new person comes to watch them, their attention will decide which of all these Zooms to turn on, at which minute to turn it on, how long to listen, and what to hear from what is heard. It will happen by itself because it is exactly what it needs. That's it, be this. Did you get everything?
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Radchik love, I remember you had a question yesterday.
Hello, good afternoon. I am very glad to see everyone.
Greetings, greetings.
Anar, here I am listening to all your Zooms, right? It seems that I understand the level of the language you speak. But as soon as I start to focus, bring everything inside myself, there is a very strong blockage. I can't understand why it happens and I can't break it through. And this state captures the soul, the throat, and I begin to fall into despair. Despair. This state does not leave me. In the state of joy, my inner world expands, and for every moment, for every breath, for every expression. In reality, I thank God, I rejoice in this. But this constant fluctuation, and I can't understand why this is all happening like this.
Well, look, you experience a constant fluctuation because you cling to what is changing, and everything changes infinitely. Your whole life, everything changes infinitely, right? Yes, every moment changes. It can be in the form of feelings, sound in the form of shapes, phenomena. Everything has always been changing. Everything comes, it goes. The picture is constantly changing. Every second. Even now you're driving. Do you see how everything changes every second?
Yes, it's amazing.
And do you see that there is something unchanging?
Space, this emptiness. I've noticed this since childhood.
You need to learn to dwell in the unchanging. What do you experience these swings from? Because you cling with your attention to the changing. That's it, and you learn the swings.
This inner voice, it says that I must serve this world, I must lead millions of people. This is my inner intuition. It is.
See what it is.
Well, I try to get it inside myself. There's a blockage. I can't break through this blockage.
There is no blockage. You made it up.
And then here's another question.
Okay. Look, here is now, right? Where's the blockage here? What exists now, everything in front of you, is within yourself. It's not in the body, but inside yourself. See the whole frame? The entire universe is within you. Everything in front of you now, it's all inside you, including this body. But everything that exists is your body. And here you are with this frame. You are just very much identified with it. If you draw your attention out, just spread it. You will see that it all is inside you. And all of it happens for a single reason. You are witnessing this now. And your witnessing sheds light on all of this. And it happens. And as long as you witness, it all can exist. And you are every point of this space, including this body and everything that exists, and it all exists only without you. And blockages are you, and their absence is also you. So, you are new here, right?
Yes, I've been here for about a week, yes.
And have you watched the other recording?
Yes. I tried to rewatch it 3 times, but I didn't understand anything. And this Zoom you are holding now, I joined it in the middle. I was at work. Right. And this Zoom really resonates. I want to rewatch it again when the recording will be available, from the very beginning till the end in peace, so that no one disturbs me.
Cool. Rewatch it. In any case, I often ask to focus on yourself. And when it comes to giving attention to yourself, everything will come down to the practice of the absent presence, because only with it you can give yourself attention. It's the easiest way. So, or for example, there's a Zoom, next thought. Also check that out. And these answers are right here now within you. And further, whatever you encounter on the way, don't call it a blockage. It is not a blockage. It's a blockage because you named it that. How do you know that blockages even exist? Who told you about them? Start to see this. How do I know this is a blockage? Who says this is a blockage? Start to see this. Become unknowing. Stop being knowing. And then the blockage will disappear. It exists for now because it has been named. It simply is. As soon as the knowledge about this disappears, it will merge with the One. Whatever is on your path will merge with the One as soon as it stops being limited, named. If you named it, you highlighted it and turned it into some formula. And you will learn it. Well, if you imagined it, it's your assumption that this is a blockage, and so on. This is your perception, how you name it. But we don't know what it is. You actually don't know what it is. Whether it's the sun or not, something exists, something is felt, something happens. Watch this. Everything that has appeared will disappear. Always know this. This blockage, it has appeared.
Yes.
Everything that appears will disappear. Everything is temporary except you, except for what you truly are. You are unchanging, remaining in the unchanging, and simply watching everything. You will see the blockage, and you will see how it disappears. It will dissolve in your path, and you will move on. Everything that arises, fear, whatever form it takes, and it doesn't matter. Just watch it. It will all dissolve. It will all burn away. It cannot hold on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, I have a break. We will meet in an hour and a half, as agreed. Well, that's it. Thank you very much. I will continue because the questions are endless. That's all. Hugs to everyone. How much time is left? In an hour and 45 minutes. We will continue. Thank you all.